G'day YouTube people, we're back at Eric Street. And when I rode along the path the other day, I happened to bump into the people doing the line marking, so we can have a look at that. We're going to have a look at bike parking at the cafes in this area, and we're going to have a look at the idea of putting in 15-minute car parking down at the beach. So to start with, the line marking. Yes, you can see there's now symbols on the road in various places. There's a centre line down the middle of the path, there's edge marking in some places. So that's coming along nicely. There's actually one of the guys having a break. And you can see along here where they've gone and marked where the lines are going to go, but they haven't run over it with a machine. So the path should be looking a lot more smick now that it's actually got this done. Didn't see any signs. I wasn't looking for any signs, and I haven't gone back and reviewed the video for any signs, but maybe they're coming. Got a note though that the council has in fact put some no parking signs down the bottom here that have been snapped off. Now I do like this kind of comb effect that they've put on either side of this. It's not really a hump outside the OVH bottle shop. Really makes that stand out for drivers coming across here. Now this is the next issue which comes, well, we'll get to this in a minute, but the lack of 15-minute 15-minute car parking. So drivers are pulling over here and stopping in the bike lane. Now I went around, because you can, I'm not going to lose my mind over this, but I was worried about getting doored. And this was in the Subi Post last week. Obviously you can see other drivers stopping there, and it says that the council signs warning it's a towaway zone were actually snapped from their bases and stolen. So I guess people are pretty upset about the loss of the car parking. But what I think is required is a bit of bike parking down here. Somewhere in this area. Outside the cafe somewhere would be really good, because at the moment people are doing what I did, lean your bike up against the rails there. Now, Lido, a little bit further south, they've got bike parking both on their side of the road and on the other side, so that's quite good. Barchetta, probably the closest competition to Lil Sup, they've got good bike parking, and they've got this huge overflow area here. I think on this day, I think I counted 14 bikes stacked up here. It's interesting that, the Subi Post thinks no one's riding down the beach, whereas I guess when you actually come down here, you see, quite a few bikes. It's like, well, how did these people get here? Eric Chamberlain Cafe, which funnily enough is on the corner of Eric and Chamberlain, they got bike parking. X Beaches Cafe, which is shut because this building's getting flattened, that's still got bike parking out the front. But the Cott General Store, unfortunately, no bike parking, and it's another location which definitely needs it. So, yeah, Lil Sup, I think it'd be good to have some bike parking somewhere around here for bikes and tricycles. You can see there's someone who's probably disabled riding their tricycle down here. Now, this was the line marking crew coming down to possibly do that green zone. Yeah, that'll be kind of interesting to see how that went. And I put these times here because I was actually here for 22 minutes having a coffee and watching the world go by. And and look, I'm not going to lose my mind over this. I didn't say anything to these people because, look, bicycles are maneuverable. We can go around things. We can go through fairly narrow gaps. To, pull out and go around a couple of parked cars like this is not the end of the world, because it's just a green painted strip. Now, if there was a concrete curb that I had to lift my bike over to get out of the bike lane, that'd be a different story. If this was not a quiet car park, then it might be a different story. If this was a busy road and, they were parked in the bike lane and forcing people to go out on the road, then yeah, I'd be quite mad about it. But I don't remember seeing another car actually drive down here whilst I was parked here for 22 minutes. I mean, maybe one does. Just watch the video and see if one goes through. So I'm relaxed about it. I know some people might get upset at the principle of it, that people shouldn't be doing it, that it's been marked as no standing, blah, blah, blah. But look, in reality, this is a very safe little section. And as long as, there's no drivers backing out, then it's quite safe to go around the vehicles. So, you can get mad in the comments if you want to, but I didn't get mad. I just sat here and watched. But I was kind of quite dumbfounded because, we used to own a big four-wheel drive. We used it for a lot of events. And, when we had to offload at times like this, we would just turn up, do a quick scramble to unload, get it unloaded in 2 minutes, then go and park the car somewhere else. This is what they could have done. They actually drove out of the OVH car park. They could have, offloaded, gone and dumped the car in the OVH, but they left it here. So anyway, this is why I think some of those parking spots, those angled parking spots, probably need converting to 15-minute parking 3 or 4 of them perhaps, so people can actually swing in here and do drop-offs like this. That would just be the sensible thing. Bit of bike parking and some 15-minute car parking for the drivers doing drop-offs. Of course, the other thing these drivers could have done is gone and bought one of those, 4-wheel trolleys. We're looking at getting one for picnics when we go to the beach, and that way you offload and you go park somewhere else, offload in the trolley, wheel the trolley down. Like I said, they could have done that from the OB car park. So I don't know what the painters made of that when they turned up, whether they moved their cars for that or whether there's going to be a blank section there with no painted lines in it. But just a reminder about the bike parking. Yeah, there are on a sunny day. It's a miserable, wet, horrible day today. But on a sunny day like this one, plenty of people do ride down here. They want to get a coffee. They need somewhere to plonk the bike. So a bit of bike parking outside of Lil Sup would be a great idea.